In 2019, I had a Shopify store go from making $30,000 to $40,000 in profit per month to ultimately ending up in $15,000 to $20,000 in credit card debt, disabled Facebook ad account and main account, and ultimately the death of the brand. So this is a story for you. How's it going? My name is Pondir, and my goal with this channel is to help you become a successful and profitable Facebook advertiser. All that I ask is that you can smash the like button, subscribe, and check out Pondir.com. So in November of 2018, I was a software developer at E-Trade. I was 24 at the time. I'm 28 now. And I decided I was going to quit my job. I didn't have any income from any business that I had tried to launch. At this point, I was probably launched 8 e-commerce brands. I tried private labeling, lost $20,000 there. I launched a tech startup that failed. I had nothing going for me. But some things happened in my life that kind of brought me to this breaking point of really like self-reflection. Like, what do I want to do with my life? And ever since a kid, my ultimate dream was being an entrepreneur. And I'd spent 4 years learning advertising, learning e-commerce. And I'm like, if I have this cushiony job where I'm making really good money, and this is essentially a plan B if I don't make something work, I don't think I'm ever gonna have that back against the wall moment and like see if I'm able to actually do this entrepreneur thing. So in November, I'm like, I get my bonus March 1st, March 14th. I'm gonna put my 2-week notice and I'm just gonna go for it. So the moment that I did that, something clicked in me. I launched a drop shipping product. I was using AliExpress, did Shopify, Facebook ads, end of November. And by the time I walked into my job on March 14th to put in my 2-week notice, the store that month had made $45,000 at about an 18% profit margin. So $6,000, $8,000, whatever it is in profit. I had this massive level of confidence going into it. I had this ego going like, man, I made it. Like, this isn't a big deal leaving my job. Like, I got this figured out. And next month, so I quit my job in March 14th. Next month, brand does $75,000, 25% profit margin. Next month does $180,000, 28% profit margin. Like, unreal. Fourth month, sales hit all-time high, 245,000 in sales. I made 55,000 in profit that month. I thought I was set. I'm like, I'm just going to keep these ads running. I'm going to be making $50,000 a month in profit for the rest of my life. Like, dude, I made it, right? So what do? I would go out, buy a $12,000 Rolex. I start buying some designer clothes, like spending money like crazy, getting bottles at the club, like just, big mistakes. And the reality of what it is to be an e-commerce entrepreneur smacked me across the face. The next month, I learned that my sourcing agent I was using had switched manufacturers behind my back. And the reason I found this out is because we started getting 15 emails a day, 20 emails a day from customers saying, with pictures, broken product. So what I was selling, it was a hairbrush that essentially like, helped the health of the hair, did some like cool twirls and stuff. And then I also had these organic Japanese soap bars that I would use as like upsells, cross sells, and some people bought it as the main product too. And the product was a dud. So I'd been selling unknowingly for 2 months with the product that didn't work. And so 20 emails turns into 50 emails a day, 100 emails a day. At one point, we're getting 300 emails a day. So 150 sales per day times 60 days, really 2 months. It's a lot of products. And it brought me to a crossroad. And this crossroad is really kind of the key lesson that I learned through this experience and what I want to teach you here. If you're a beginner and you're just getting started, you will reach this crossroad because you will find success as long as you don't give up. And as long as you continue to learn and hone your skills in advertising and e-commerce, you will get to this crossroad. If you're intermediate and you're advanced and you've hit this crossroad, what I talk about later on in this video, I think is going to be a really big help. As over the past 2 years, I built a very legitimate brand, 38% returning customer rate. Continue to scale, no issues. We have a 97% rating on both our Shopify reviews and Amazon. And we were actually acquired by a private equity backed firm in September of 2021. So things have obviously changed. So I've got some lessons for you more experts as well in this video. So this crossroad, I got to a point, profit drops from 50,000 to 18,000. And then 3 weeks later, I'm losing $4,000 a week. But I needed to continue paying my team, paying my rent, because I'd blown this money on, materialistic things. So I needed to keep scaling to try and make some money, but I couldn't keep scaling because the brand was destroying itself. And ultimately, every dollar that I spent further on ads, it was just going to be a worse demise. And so that was a crossroad. Like, what decision do I make here? Ultimately, I'm going to shut it down. I'm going to do the right thing, focus on the customer first. Like, they were, disowned by our promise of a good product. Killed the ads. Credit cards racked up to 10,000 debt, 15,000 bank account drained. And then I refunded every single customer that emailed us with my credit card. So it really got tough. And I truly got to that point where my back was against the wall. I didn't have a job. I didn't have an income. I live in Chicago. It's expensive. I had to pay for life, and I really wasn't going to be able to. And what I learned from this crossroad was a couple of things. Advertising is the most important skill to have to make revenue, but the product is going to determine whether your longevity is short term, couple months, quick money grab, or if this is something like a life-changing business that you're going to build. So supply chain and the product quality is number one. So I learned that lesson. But at the same time, I'm like, I need to make money. Like, this interest rate, my credit card, all this rent, like I can't pay rent. Open a new credit card, pay rent a couple months. So knowing what I knew then, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do a short-term gig, but this time I'm gonna either, number one, make sure I find a supplier in China that I can really trust, where I can build like video calls, see their process, see the facility, see the product being made in the warehouse, see they have adequate supplies, keep adequate inventory levels so I don't oversell. I was going to do the short-term thing right, or I was going to find a manufacturer in the USA. I ended up going with, so summer was coming around the corner. I'm like, all right, I got 3 months warm weather. What's a common problem? And also from an advertising perspective, I'm like, what's a crazy, scroll stopper that I can make? Like, what product ideas can I use? And so ultimately I came down to a mosquito product. It's a device, you stick it around your patio and stuff. It just helps clears mosquitoes. I had some spray that you could put in there, and then also had some other technology in there and whatnot that zaps mosquitoes. It was basically like just a very advanced mosquito zapper. But the scroll stopper, I found I think it was like Pexels. I found a clip of a guy putting his hand into a mosquito, so it was like this box. So it was this box of just mosquitoes, and this guy puts his hand in it. I used that for a 3-second scroll stopper. Popped off, went viral. People were tagging their friends just to see the clip. So scaled that up to like $3,000 a day at its peak for about 3 months. And I shut the brand down as soon as we got to a point of scale where I started seeing those emails increasing. So, I made enough to pay off that initial credit card debt. That way I could pay my rent on my credit card. So that was done. And then I started thinking from a long-term perspective. I'm like, I got into this to do this for the rest of my life. I got into this to change my life, to change my family's life. And so I launched a security camera, and it was a portable security camera. I did a lot of due diligence, spent 2 months testing a bunch of different cameras on different networks, 5G, 2.4G, mobile phone hotspots, made sure the software was perfect. And my plan was what I was going to do. So this was really before like the Ring was already a thing, but the like the Blink cameras and whatnot, the Amazon versions weren't around. So it was definitely new to the market. And I pinpointed the demographic. And my plan was I was going to turn this into like a serious security camera company. I was going to have my own software developed. I was going to, eventually take everything in-house, bring everything to the USA. And then I launched first month, did $100,000 at 35% profit margin, because what I found with that was my first electronic product I launched, that the margins were crazy. Cameras cost $7, $8, $9. And at a high scale, like the Blink cameras might cost like $4.50 to make. And you can sell them I sold my product for 70, which was actually on the lower end at the time of the broad security camera market. So 35% profit margin, made $35,000, paid off everything, had like, $20K pre-tax in my bank, and continued scaling. Next month, like 220, following month, I hit 300. Everything was going good. And then here's the next part. So supply chain was good, product was good, but there was another component that I'd never experienced before, and this was the software. So as a software developer, I should have been thinking like, what happens if there's a bug with the software? It makes the product, even though the product's phenomenal, it makes it unusable. And it makes customers that even might have bought it, 4 or 5 months, a year ago, if I'd been running the brand for that long, want a refund because it makes everything void. And that's what happened. So at this point, right away, I should have been taking that money and investing in having my own software created, and I didn't. So same type of thing started arising. I saw the emails start increasing, software wasn't getting fixed. And this time I knew better. So it was 3.5 months in, I shut it down right away. No questions asked. I wasn't going to try to continue running ads and selling the product without the guarantee that this was fixed first. And, thank the Lord that I did, because it never got fixed. So we had some, small issues, the overall for the brand. So that brand, I want to say, did $575,000 revenue over like 4 months. 30, let's call it at the end, after all the refunds and whatnot, was probably like 20% profit. So that's like $80,000 I made over the course of like the 4.5 months. So I had a little bit of capital. After all of my stuff was paid off and whatnot, let's call it like I had 20,000 left over. And now I had really learned my lesson. So the only way that I learn, and this is just my learning style, is I have to dive in hands-on and fail. I can't read a textbook and then just like, I can't know everything that way. I actually have to do it, and I have to fail a lot, and then I learn. And so this was really the third time's a charm. I had seen the supply issues. I had seen the importance of the product. I had seen what marketing can do and advertising can do when done correctly. And now I had the knowledge to really do my long-term vision. So I went to an e-commerce meetup in Chicago, Illinois. This would have been in October of 2019. So I went to this meetup while at like peak $300,000 months. And I met my now long-term business partner at that meetup. And he approached me a couple months later. He's like, man, I've been looking at this market, and he's an Amazon seller. Scale a lot of successful Amazon brands. I was the Shopify direct response marketing, and he was also an expert in product sourcing. So we sat down, and he looked at the market, I looked at the market, and we're like, dude, this is like, not only do our skill sets line up perfectly, and like we have this trust that just kind of was there from the start, but this market is untapped. It was an old market. It's been around, I think it was like since 1930. A lot of big players in the space, but they were doing everything wrong when it came to e-commerce. They weren't really running ads, and if they were, it was just really bad. I knew I could do 100x better than what they were doing. The branding was off. Just everything about the online experience in this market was just really bad. So we're like, dude, let's come in here, try to make some noise. So we found a USA manufacturer, key number one. We spent 3 months testing the product. So we tested 25, just ridiculous amount of suppliers. We found one in Wisconsin. So we're based in Chicago. And so we actually drove up there, and we met the owner. It's a small, kind of still a family-run business. The owner's 94 years old. Sat with them, spent time with them. And coming into this market as well, there's a lot of barriers to entry because you needed capital. They had never seen two guys in their mid-20s come into the space. So there was definitely a question of like, what's our legitimacy? And then when we started doing our branding and like throwing out our ideas, it was just so new to them. They're like, I think pretty sure at one point they're like, why would you want to do that? Like, who cares? That's not going to work. So we really had to push forward and build that relationship up. We took 4 or 5 trips down there, and then we wired the money, and it was the last money I had in my account. So, I'm like, let's go for it. So my business partner and I split it, took everything out of my savings for it, boom, sent it over. And so we started the manufacturing process in November, and we didn't launch until March 1st. So there was like that 3-month delay where, once again, I'm, rent, credit card swipe. Yeah. I kind of grown comfortable to this at that point. But first month, the first day that I launched the ads, we do $1,000 in revenue off of $50 in spend in 4 sales. So think about the average order value there and the profit margin. So our profit margin at the time, and now after being acquired, probably much better for the manufacturer that acquired us. But we were just, okay, this could work because we have a phenomenal product. We have USA 2-day shipping. My business partner and I were doing the support management, so we were on top of that. I had the skills on Facebook ads and Shopify, and then Amazon. I'm like, man, this is only on Shopify, so we can take this to Amazon as well. Long story short, the business, so 2 years later now, extreme success. We quickly became a well-known brand in the industry. We were approached by the private equity-backed firm 6 months after we launched, and we told them we weren't interested in like selling or anything. It was truly like a 5 to 10 year plan. And then there were some issues with the supply chain there as well. Costs started rising. We couldn't get product to meet the level of scale that we wanted to, so we had to scale down. But luckily, we both had experiences, so we scaled down to the right amount where we didn't run into any issues. We just weren't making as much, and we weren't building that value like we knew we could be in regards to the valuation of the brand. So we reached back out to that company, the private equity company. I don't know. So this is about a year in. Like, hey, we're going to start considering some offers for either a portion of our brand, all of our brand, or just some long-term contracts that guarantee X amount per month in supply at X cost. And they were interested. CEO, CFO flew to Chicago, had dinner, presented us an offer. 6 months of negotiations, lawyers, ultimately closed on September 31st. And my business partner and I are still on. We essentially act as brand management consultants. We still help run day to day, and it's been phenomenal. Like, amazing people at this company. We're part of an amazing portfolio brand, so I'm constantly learning. I'm constantly able to provide value to these individual brands and help out where I can with my expertise of advertising, and David helps with products and Amazon. It's just been phenomenal. So I kind of got off topic from the initial point, but I just want you to see the contrast of the process and what the reality of being an e-commerce entrepreneur and Facebook advertiser really is. You have, as a beginner, you have to find that success, and you will fail. There's going to be points, even if you watch this video and you watch out for everything, there's going to be something that I didn't touch on unique to your experience that goes wrong, and you will fail. As I said, though, if you just don't quit, it sounds cheesy, sounds generic, but man, I'm at one point I made a decision, like, I'm just not going to quit. Like, things can keep going wrong. I'm just not going to quit. And 2 years later, everything's phenomenal. So with that brand, and then obviously with Pondir, that's my other focus, is building out the software and helping advertisers and e-commerce entrepreneurs just like you with this YouTube channel with free content, and then also with Pondir's tools and courses and whatnot that are over there. So life has changed dramatically, and I love waking up every day. I love working on this stuff. So whatever point you are in this journey, it's a journey. It looks, like this. Even now, there's still days like that. So keep at it, because if this is what you want to do and you don't quit and you continue to hone and master skills of direct response advertising, learn products, building a team, building processes, and I'll put that in another video. Just, we have the most incredible team. So we have a team, about 10 employees now, and without them, this brand would have never went to the length it did. So there's a lot that I'm going to be dropping here on this channel covering those topics, but it's kind of my story of past 5 years of e-commerce entrepreneurship. See you guys in the next video.